What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. How old are you?
I'm 36. I'll be 37 next month.
30. And you are from where?
New Zealand?
All right. What do you got for me? We're talking about modern women are not prepared. What do you think?
I would agree because I probably fall in the category of being a modern woman.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
Single?
Any kids?
No.
All right. So what are we talking about today? You have a question? You want to chime in on the topic? What?
Could you please repeat the question? Because I did hear you briefly and
Well,
I think it was relevant to me, but I just want to
I'm
make
just
sure that
saying
I'm on
that
track.
either you're preparing to be a wife or you're preparing to be single and die alone. That's pretty much it. There's no in between.
Oh man, wait. Did this lady say that she was 36 years old? Yeah, maybe you were 36 20 years ago, but there is no way this woman is 36 right now. I refuse to believe that.
And you're 30. You're 30. How old?
36.
36. So, do you want to be married?
Perfect, on time. I knew she is 36. This is wild. This is crazy.
I do now, but it's not something that I prioritized when I was younger.
Okay.
So I realized that I'm in the danger zone.
Oh, you're past
well
the
and
danger
truly.
zone. No, you're past the danger zone. You're in no man's land.
Yes, about ready to be put on the what did you say, like the second-hand rack or something like that?
You are officially on clearance.
Yes.
You're 36.
But still not
so
willing to accept it because I do have offers, but it's from people that I'm not attracted to,
well, but that's the
even
problem
though they
now.
can provide a nice life.
That's the problem now, isn't it? You're on clearance, and when people want to buy stuff on clearance, but it's never the premium buyers now, is it? You don't people who have the money to buy on season items that are hot enough to sell on season get sold. And when you're on clearance, you didn't sell on season because you said you didn't prepare, you didn't prioritize marriage younger. Okay, that's fine, cool. But my question is, we know what you didn't do. I need before we get to the next part, I need to know why you want to be married now. That's important.
Like I definitely don't want to grow old alone.
Okay.
It would be nice to have a companion sometimes to travel, or even just someone to come home to talk to. I would imagine that one of the priorities of being in a marriage is to support each other through, I guess you can expect more difficult times from a certain age in life where you may have to attend funerals for people that you care about. If you end up in hospital or something like that, then it's really important to have someone to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't expect someone that you've only known for a short time to be that person. You really have to have invested in someone long term for them to be the kind of person who would be there for you in the important parts of life.
So
the highs and the lows.
So what I'm kind of hearing, if I'm correct, is I'm hearing that you want a companion.
Yes.
Okay. Well, a companion is not necessarily a husband. That's different. You can have so my question still is the same because nothing in what you described is you being a wife to a man. You described what you want from a marriage, which is a companion. But I could give you, but why do you need to have a husband? Because the husband is somebody who's supposed to protect, provide. You're also supposed to have a sex life and all that. You can have a companion that's not a husband.
Protection and provision and sex is also something that I want.
Yeah. Do you want children?
I'm aware of where I am in the timeline, so I'm pretty realistic about.
But do you want them? Is the question.
I have never met someone who made me feel like wanting them was something that I should do.
Okay.
I had one person that, but then I changed my mind. And aside from that,
did you go to college?
Yes.
All right, so hear this. This woman is 36 years old, coming back out here into the dating market, decided that at the time no one made her feel like she should have children. And now she's into geriatric pregnancy. Even if she meets someone the next year or two, how close is it between how fast enough can it be between them getting married and having a baby? By the time she looks up, and even if she wanted to have the baby as soon as possible, realistically, she's looking to do that anywhere between 37 to 38 years old. And now you're going to bring that to another man and sit in his face and tell him, well, the reason why you couldn't, or you can't have this baby as natural as possible is because when I was younger, I was running around doing whatever I wanted, and all the guys I was dealing with made me feel like I didn't want to have a baby. This isn't appealing.
Do you have a graduate degree or higher?
A master's degree.
Okay. Where in the biology of the female mammal in particular, does a man's ability to provide or whatever or instinctively arouse a woman's desire to have children?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Is the desire to have children a natural thing, or is it something that's stimulated by the male?
That's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
When you had a cycle, you were, in these terms, a teenager, so you had the ability to conceivably get pregnant and carry life. All right. So the conditions you put on pregnancy and child rearing have nothing to do with the biology of it.
I understand that.
So to say that I haven't met a man that makes me want to have kids, that ain't about a man. That's about you. So, and understand one of the major reasons men choose to get married, especially in the West, with the with the way things are going, a big part of that is kids. And I'm not hearing a woman who's really a wife. I'm hearing a woman that wants a partner.
That's understandable.
Is that what you want? You want a partner? Because I said that earlier on, that modern women aren't prepared to be wives and they're not preparing to be wives. And as such, women have a choice to make. So you're like the perfect person for me to say this to. What do you want, ma'am? Do you want a partner, a life partner, a partner? Or do you want a husband and to be a wife? Those are two distinctly different things. What do you want?
Could you please clarify the difference? Because based on my life experience, I'm not sure I really understand.
Well, a wife is a role. Like in the United States, there's the president and then the vice president. The vice president is the president of the Senate. The vice president has no power unless the president dies. The wife's roles typically are the nurturing and rearing of the children, the transmitters of the culture, the support of her husband, the familial bonds, the community, things like that. It's the typical female role. The male's role is typically provision, protection. Now, even today, while most people, we don't live in most places, it takes more than one income. So that doesn't mean a man has to pay all the bills. And especially at 36, you've been working your entire life anyway. I said it, if you're over 35, the chances of just getting married and becoming a housewife are negligible. You're going to work, but one has a hierarchical uh, organizational structure. The other one is just people almost like they just come together like roommates. You split the bills, you split things halfway, you share the bed together. I mean, that's that whole partner thing. It's,
Yeah, I on the one hand, I can appreciate splitting the bills, and on the other hand, I'm not aroused by that.
well, you want a man to pay the bills?
Uh, I don't think I would. I enjoy the work that
Now
I
understand.
do.
Now understand something. I'm not making a value judgment in any way, but the most important thing is to be honest. Because if you need to be honest with yourself, because like I said, I'm not judging either way, but I can't really give you my input if you're going to tell me something that just kind of sounds good. Do you want to have to, if you're with a man, do you want to have to pay go 50-50?
If I had children, definitely not.
Okay.
No, I would. But if we didn't have children, then I would, and I guess perhaps that disqualifies me from even being considered as a wife, not having children. Then,
It changes the
then
calculus. Yes, it does.
I
Definitely
would
changes the calculus.
contribute, but perhaps not in a 50-50 way. I guess it depends on what their role is. And I am used to being around generous men, and I find that attractive.
Okay, don't get confused at all. She says, "I'm used to being around generous men, aka, i.e., I'm used to being around men with means and money, and they usually pay for me or facilitate things for me, in which I can then use for monetary value, or I'll then have monetary value. All right, let's not get it confused at all. She's speaking vehemently on money and directly about money. So let's not get that part confused at all. You're not gonna get that, and especially as you get older. I'm sorry, she's nearly 40, and I'm doing air quotes. She's nearly 40. Again, the chances of that happening is just less likely. And what the hell is this symbol in her background? I've been trying to figure it out. Maybe I just don't know, but it's crazy symbol going on over here. Ridiculous.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Of course you do, but men had to become generous to get women to even do what they used to do. Y'all aren't doing y'all's part anymore. So what I just heard you say is, if we had children, a thing that I'm not naturally inclined to want to do. That's what you kind of said. So it's not like you're saying, "Ooh, I want to have babies." It's like, "Oh, well, I have some kids if I find the right guy. But if I do that, then I want to be taken care of." I want you to put yourself in the men's position. Why would a guy be excited to take that on? A woman who doesn't want to have kids, but if she does take kids, then you got to pay for everything. And she's in geriatric pregnancy already.
Yeah, I could understand why people would rather choose someone who's younger and really wants to be a mother. I think it would be more suitable for someone who hasn't prioritized education and career.
Do you think you're offering a fair deal?
Well, it depends on the deal, but from what we've
You said
just
you're
discussed,
you're used to rich men or generous men or whatever. Are you giving as much feminine value as he's giving masculine provision?
in theory,
Uh-huh.
well, I guess it's more than just children. I actually do like cooking, taking care of like cleaning and things like that. I like that kind of gender role. But I guess I've just never felt, or perhaps I have felt the urge at times to have a baby, but I've suppressed it. I'm a logical person, and I was also a school teacher for 10 years, so I have perhaps more experience with children than the average person. I'm very aware of the amount of investment it takes to do that job well.
Most teachers won't have families in this country. See, when I ask you, are you offering a fair deal? You didn't. The answer was no. That's why you had to go in theory. You know, you're not. What you would like to have versus what you're offering. What you would like to have is a man who's able to provide. That puts him in the top percentile of men from an economic standpoint, right? All right. What are you in the top percentile of women?
No.
From a demand standpoint. What men are what's in high demand by men?
Oh, do you mean like which number I would be on the scale? Or?
Well, what's in high demand by men are women who have a mindset that's agreeable, cooperative, and she's smart. A woman that's fit internally and externally. She's dedicated, disciplined, discerning. She's feminine, which is she's accommodating. She's comforting, and she has a subtle sophistication, and she's naturally nurturing, which means she has a carefree, loving, light, easy side. Those last two, I'm not getting anything from you on that. I'm getting flatline on feminine and naturally nurturing. So automatically, I would tell you automatically that would put any woman in a character in a out of high demand contention.
But because I'm not nurturing or feminine.
Yeah, because you're not a wife, you're not a mother. I mean, you're logical and you're talking about having children, almost like a Vulcan, which is cool. But men, you're almost talking about having kids like a woman or a Vulcan, which is cool. But a lot of men don't like that. A lot of men don't like that. A lot of men want women who look, if you're talking about a man you said you like generous men, right? Generous men are in short supply. Women are 51% of the population. All women come with a vagina, all the standard equipment. So what are you really offering as a woman, as any woman has to say, what am I offering to the men that are rare, the kind of men that I want? And with you, I'm hearing that I'm a logical person, I'm a school teacher, but it's like, okay, what I'm gathering is you probably want a man that's outside of your SMV. How tall are you?
170 centimeters.
We're over here in the United States. Put that in feet.
I have to use my conversion.
How much do you weigh? I mean, what's your dress size? How about?
Actually, if you don't mind, I can go and get the details from my purse. Just to.
Well, no, or this is just about how much do you weigh? That's about all we need.
I think I'm a size 8, okay. An American sizing.
All right. So, ma'am, at a
70 kgs.
At a 36-year-old woman who's a school teacher, right?
I'm not a school teacher anymore. I was for 10 years.
Okay. What level?
Elementary? I reached highly accomplished status in Australia.
What level did you teach at though?
Oh, sorry, primary school. 6 and 7-year-olds were my favorite age.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
Due respect, ma'am. 36-year-old second grade teachers aren't in high demand. They're simply not. This is almost like you sound like you want a partner, which is fine, because you don't sound like you're really motivated to have kids. Sounds to me like you would like to have a man who's financially fit or well off, and you would just be partners and be like a travel companion. Almost what I would call like an executive wife. But here's the problem. Many women want that, and they got the feminine thing going on. You almost are coming across like a man. Masculine. Have you heard that before?
I felt that. Yes, and I guess I think you've said in a previous video that can't really be changed. It's how you're raised, and so.
Well, not at this age.
Am I right?
Well, no, you aren't right, Smeagol. And the reason why Smeagol isn't right is because these are all choices. When you get to a certain point in life, or matter of fact, if you get to a certain age in life, you are not due any understanding. You are supposed to identify exactly what's going on with you, take into account what other people say about you. You know, obviously the ones that are telling the truth and aren't trying to be vindictive or facetious. You take those people, take their advice, and you go do the work. You either work on yourself, you go get the counseling, you get into some type of fitness or gym, and you work your way through things. Whether it be therapy, speaking with people, whatever it is, you work your way through things so you can become the best version of yourself. So then the next person doesn't have to deal with a person who didn't work on themselves. So it's a choice at this point in time. If you are 36 years old and you have people telling you you're masculine and combative and you aren't easy to get along with, that is a choice. And the choice is ultimately, and the reason why you choose that choice is ultimately because you don't go and get the work done. You don't go and get it checked or fixed. And then she wants to stare at us with this 1,000-yard stare. No, Smeagol, it's a choice.
Not at this age. I mean, at 36, you're pretty much, this is it. Because even if your OBGYN says you or get a medical clearance to have kids, you don't really have the desire to. The desire to have kids would come extra you, which is one of the major reasons men get married. So why would a man choose a woman like yourself? That means the only reason I would say if I would choose a woman like yourself, if I want to have kids, you must have exceptional genes, meaning your people must be come from like almost like we're breeding pedigrees. But I mean, at the end of the day, no offense, second grade teacher. You may be an exceptional second grade teacher, but second grade. So then you have to look at, well, are you getting exceptional genetics? Maybe above average. All right. Then what about looks? You have to be a freaking knockout to overcome all these other things. So could you be with an average man? A plumber?
Are you talking about average in looks or income or both?
Income. Because we're
Well,
not supposed to be we're not supposed to be the lookers. We're supposed to be the earners. An average earning New Zealand man. Whatever they do in New Zealand, they played in the Lord of the Rings or some shit. I don't know. Whatever they do over in New Zealand, they do that shit. They're elves and extras and Aquaman, whatever.
We do have a lot of tradesmen in this country.
Yeah, could you marry one of those guys?
I mean, I possibly could, but I don't typically find that attractive.
I'm not even gonna go off. I'm not even going to go off. I'm just gonna say a few words and I'm gonna let this play. Why do average as hell people think they could look at other men that are possibly making double what these people are making? She was a damn school teacher. Even if let's give her anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 to even $60,000 a year. These tradespeople are probably pulling in 90 to 100,000, anywhere between 80 to 100,000 a year. Or even let's go with that, anywhere between 60 and 100,000 a year. But we got this average ass Smeagol talking about that's not typically what she's attracted to. You're a teacher. You're 38. You're a 36-year-old, aka 63-year-old, rotten milk teacher with a damn satanic symbol. Talk about some damn you ain't attracted to. Just play this video.
Well, then here's what you got. I don't care what you find attractive, ma'am. You're a 36-year-old second grade teacher with exceptionally high standards, and you're only getting older. If you don't marry this man who's a provider and attractive, are you going to have enough money to last you from 65 to 85 when you retire?
At this
Let's
stage,
let
definitely not.
let's say how much money do you think you'll need to last for 20 years? 20 elder years.
Goodness me. I mean, I know you've talked about this a lot, but I
Yeah.
haven't
This ballpark
calculated it.
this
I would
ballpark.
just rather be dead, to be fair.
How much?
Uh,
You'd
I
rather
would
be
rather
dead?
be I would rather be dead than be old and living on a
Well,
shoestring.
you might do that too. But what do you think if you don't? What do you think?
Oh, for 20 years. Well, you'd need at least 50,000 a year, so at
It's a
least $1
million
million.
dollars. In this country, you need 1.9 million. So you're still a million off. And see, what I need you to understand is you said I would rather be dead than living on a shoestring budget. But unfortunately, this is the dilemma for modern women because you guys don't know how to do relationship. And even in no man's land, you're still prioritizing foolish things like attractiveness and a man's provision ability. And you don't want to deliver anybody's children unless they are paying for you. It's insane to us as men. This is nowhere, you're not even close to offering a fair deal. And if you don't, you won't marry. And if you did marry, it doesn't sound like you'd stay. And if you did stay, you didn't sound like you would be the hell of that great to be married to. So it would be a crazy man who would do this because you might be a resentful woman. So it's like you're choosing to go the hardest way possible, a single solitary female, and you know you're not making that kind of money. This is what modern womanism and feminism has gotten you guys. Because you have a master's. You were, and do you have any debt from college?
Not from the master's degree. I was fortunate with that, but I do still have debt from my first degree, but nothing compared to American debt.
Okay,
Small amount,
yeah. Well,
about
but the point is,
$10,000.
the point is, when when women are when men and women are allowed to choose, we sort men sort ourselves into science, technology, engineering, math. We choose to pick careers and paths that pay more money. Women choose to take careers that they like, but you have the kind of debt. The schooling costs the same. Engineering classes cost as much as humanities do, but you chose a career path that was capped. So now you got a life choice to make. And what's happening is the value of a woman drops and the clock is starting to make decisions. You're we're going to be against a rock and a hard place in the next 4 years. So this is why I tell ladies like yourself to really start considering what you're willing to what you're willing to X off your list. Attractiveness. He just needs to be attractive enough for what?
Well, I have been thinking about it because I do listen to a lot of your videos, and I feel like a big part of a long-term relationship for a man to be satisfied is that you feel drawn to him enough that you want to have sex with him at least a few times a week and the other things. And
Yeah.
so if there's not enough of a draw there,
Then do your duty. Then close your eyes, shut your mouth, and bend over. That's what you do. Because you don't
yeah,
have the kind of because ma'am, we're not supposed to be the attractive ones. That's your job. He needs to be attractive enough that you can look and have sex with him. If not, turn out the light. Go back in your family album. Go back and look at your family tree and show me how many movie star first leading men the women in your family married. They didn't.
I don't mean movie star level attractive, just
I'm being facetious because it's to the point to where modern women, you want everything. And then even when you tone it down, it's still far too much. Nobody expects you to get with a troll. But come on, man. Because the end, how this ends, we've already know how that ends. If you don't get somebody to share the burdens of life with, you want to live with a woman?
with a woman.
Yes, I mean, women are starting to live together. Elderly women are starting to live together and split bills because they didn't get men. There's a show called The Golden Girls. Do you want to do that?
Depends on the woman.
See,
It wasn't what I had in mind.
But isn't it sad that that's where we're leading to? You lack the basic fundamental relationship skills, and then you have a lack of respect for men that are hardworking, everyday average men. But they have to be or making an exceptional amount of money for you to want to deal with them. Then they have to be the goddamn Prince Charming. Insane.
No. And the answer is no, because women know living with other women is a freaking problem. So you don't want to live with women. You got to find the right man, and you don't make enough to live on your own. What are y'all going to do? You better start knocking things off your list. And I'm going to say this from the man's standpoint. Most men don't want to be the man you settle for. Because at this point, I'm getting, well, I'll cut this, I'll cut that, I'll settle. And when you're as logical as you appear to be, you guys don't tend to be very adept in EQ. So you'll mess around and say something like this to him and end up messing with his ego. This is a good call because it was right down the line. Maybe you're 36. You got some real choices to make. Real choices. You said that you have men that are interested in you long term right now.
Yes, but I don't find them physically attractive for
Then
me.
buy a vibrator.
He's like, yeah, I ain't joking. But that's going to be the ending of the video. Please, everyone, like, comment your thoughts down below. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys haven't already. Turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. Share this video. Go over to Kevin Samuel's channel. Go watch some of the videos over there. Let's keep the Godfather's name alive. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.